during his 4-day visit. All right, well, let's go to our correspondent in Kabul, David Loyne, and find out, David, particularly, do we know about the state of the relationship between Hamid Karzai and Nawaz Sharif? Because we know that Mr. Karzai had fairly frosty relations, didn't he, with Mr. Sharif's predecessor?
Yes, I mean, relations between the two countries have been very bad for many years, and particularly in recent years, with President Karzai claiming that Pakistan is not doing enough, at least, to prevent Taliban and other insurgents coming across their shared frontier. And indeed, relations with Asif Ali Zardari, the former leader of Pakistan, were not very good. There's a lot of hope here that relations with the new leader, Nawaz Sharif, could be much better. President Karzai's spokesman, Aimel Faizi, on the eve of these talks, told us that they do have good hopes for these talks. They do have a belief that things could be different. What Afghanistan wants is for positive signs that Pakistan is genuinely assisting in trying to negotiate peace with the Taliban. There are a number of Taliban leaders in Pakistan still in Pakistani custody, and Afghanistan wants some named ones to be released. There was still confusion about the whereabouts of Mullah Baradar, who is the former military commander of the Taliban, who was supposed to have been released last month but hasn't been seen since he came out of Pakistani custody. So Afghanistan will want much better assurances from Nawaz Sharif that they can talk to Mullah Baradar and they can talk to others in order to try and negotiate a peace with the Taliban.
And of course, Pakistan has its own Taliban problem, if you like. What would Nawaz Sharif constitute success in these talks? What does he want from Afghanistan and President Karzai?
Well, I think it's all part of better relations. And look, you know, no one's saying that London's chairing of these talks is the most important show in town. Clearly, Nawaz Sharif and President Karzai have met separately. They've met under American leadership. But David Cameron, the British Prime Minister, last year did begin this round of talks. It's the fourth in the series, wanting to sort of be an honest broker. Britain, of course, a huge aid donor to both countries, historical links with Pakistan, less good historical memories with Afghanistan, but Britain is a country that has a significant role in this region, the second largest troop contributor to Afghanistan. And I think David Cameron believed that if he could get something going, then he could act as a sort of honest broker. And certainly the mood music at the last set of talks, where Pakistan was represented by their top general in Britain earlier on in the year, because it was during their election campaign, did improve things, and they will, David Cameron hopes, improve further. Pakistan wants, on their part, Afghanistan to say exactly what they're doing in terms of negotiating with other Pakistani leaders. There have been a number of talks recently in Afghanistan, some open, some secret, with Pakistani leaders, and indeed it turned out with the deputy head of the Pakistani Taliban, who's now been arrested by Americans in Afghanistan. So Nawaz Sharif will want to know exactly what Afghanistan's game is in that.
All right, David, thanks for that. David Loyne, our correspondent in the Afghan capital, Kabul. We're getting